Aloha, this is HIRIE, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
You actually had the time that I'm sure everybody else wanted to perform on, 4:20.
Yeah, yep, we had the 4:20 slot. That was magical.
What was today's performance like? And you guys have been doing a few festivals, so what made this one different?
Definitely a really cool merger of fans, because they're pulling in a lot of hip hop and rap artists. So being a reggae band, we don't get to do a lot of that merger.
Right.
So it was really cool to see a lot of different fans out there getting down, and this festival is really fun, and the catering is amazing.
That's what I keep hearing. I think I'm gonna have to sneak in there later.
Have to.
Hopefully.
I'll give you my ticket.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna eat today, guys. Yeah. It's guaranteed. So let's talk a little bit about how you guys. You're the only female-fronted band or performer today. Does that make it harder or easier when you guys are doing festivals that way?
I mean, I think getting to color it up and throwing a female on a list is never a bad thing. So there's a lot of eyes looking around and stuff. But I think it's the same thing. We work just as hard and hustle and we're just trying to get our sound out there, and I'm really lucky to have an amazing band behind me, and they really lift me up and inspire me to be, strong lead female,
Now for the band, each stage varies, whether it gets smaller or it gets bigger. So how does the band really use the stage every time?
Well, first off, once you're done spinning, because it's a rotating stage, so you're all of a sudden you're turning, and so you're like, whoa. And you catch your footing. It's kind of a slippery stage, and it's 100 degrees, but it's nice and big and spacious, and the crowd is all sprawled out and just super chill. Even though it's 100 degrees, I don't think they were maybe moving as hard as they would have been, trying to conserve energy and stuff, but it was...
We would have got real dizzy, though.
We have choreographed dance moves. They spin around and do crazy stunts. And
definitely could have drank a little more water before I performed today, but it caught up afterward, got, hydrated. But it was beautiful in the sunshine. It was, It was awesome.
Do you prefer the time that you guys played earlier today, or do you prefer something like this where there is no sun?
Now that it's, casting, it's beautiful. It's starting to get a little cooler, so you can't say there's anything wrong with that, but I love being in the sun. I'm an islander for life, so it's nothing wrong with a little sun for me.
Now let's talk about touring versus doing festivals like this. What do you guys really prefer doing? Do you prefer focusing on your own tour cycle, or do you prefer bouncing from festival to festival because there's new audience each time?
Oh, we love festivals. It's just a great way to network with artists, and then also getting some new fans as well. It's really nice when you have a huge artist roster and you're all there supporting one cause, and you're really bringing in mass amounts of people that a headlining tour can do, but not at this kind of scale. But we really enjoy supporting. At the moment, we're doing a lot of direct support tours. So we just had one with Iration, and then we just finished with J-Bug, and we have a couple really big ones coming up that we're going to announce later on. And also doing some headlining shows now that we have a new album coming out, especially.
And jumping into the new album, Wandering Soul. Tell me a little bit about this album. What makes it so different from any other work that you guys have done before?
Well, it was fan-raised. We were able to launch a Kickstarter, and we hit our goal, so the fans put this one together for us. And it's a huge collaboration between us as a band, other songwriters, other artists, really amazing session musicians. The number one thing for me is just the musicianship on the album. It's at a really high level, and I'm really proud of everything that we've done to get to this point.
Right. And for you guys, the musicians, how do you guys step it up each time?
Well, see, the first album was kind of more showcasing Trish's writing, and she was working with Ian Young. So this is the first chance that our band as it's been for the last almost 3 years, all work together and collaborate, like she was saying, with all these other people. So this is our first experience. I mean, I got to play horns and stuff on the first album, but this was really like a group endeavor that was really awesome to work in all the different vibes that everyone has to bring and the influences that we all have. So it was a really awesome opportunity,
Yeah, it definitely showcases the band and their influences. A lot of them are jazz or funk or,
it's a good
rock.
mixture of music to work with.
Yeah, it is. I really, in a lot of the songs, I tried to go for the Enya of reggae, really chill, heady,
Right.
And I'm really happy about where it's at. I'm beyond excited to put it out.
So had I gone into the studio with you guys, what would I have experienced? What's the kind of environment that you guys really like to have your studio in?
It was really lighthearted, fun. I mean, we had really interesting instruments. There was a penis whistle that made it.
Interesting.
It did make it on the album. A little toy piano. I mean, we went to studios that had a plethora of instruments, and so we got a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah.
It's really trippy. Yeah.
Producer-wise, anyone specific that you guys worked with, and if so, why?
A few. We got to work with predominantly with Danny Kalb. He did Hawaii 13, the Green's last album. Beck, Ben Harper. He's an incredible producer.
Right.
A lot of our songs were rhythms coming from Josh Cardinale, Stony Eye Studios. He's in OC, in the OC area. I'm having a total
Sergio Rios,
North Hollywood, Killian Sound. That was amazing. Yeah. He did a couple of songs on tape for us. So we have that nice, warm, crisp tape sound.
That's awesome. So when you guys are actually going to look for producers to work on records, I mean, some artists just stick with one. You guys are having multiples. What do you guys really look for that you guys wanted to do these different artists in these different locations?
Definitely creativity. I like producers who step outside the box and aren't scared to do something a little different and to really bring out the best in you as well. And we got really lucky working with, and we also worked with Don Corleone. He, did all the platinum hits for Rihanna and stuff. So we had like a real roots Jamaican guy kind of come in, and we did a couple of songs with him. But in general, we just tend to gravitate towards people who are just as kind of crazy and experimental as we are.
Right. Now, is there any one track on this record that was probably the most difficult to create? Maybe you guys tossed it for quite some time and brought it back to life and rebuilt it, whatnot?
We had a little issue with one. It was Don't Take My Ganja.
Okay.
And that song's a real heavy pocket song, and we had gone into the studio in a really rushed situation, and we didn't think that we nailed the groove.
Right.
And then so I didn't really want to say screw it, let's just put it on the album. So I held it back, and I was really nervous it wasn't going to make the album. And then our producer Sergio listened back to like a rehearsal take. It was like one of those where it's like, don't worry, the tape's not running, but it was, and it was fire.
Nice.
So we got really lucky with that. There were a lot of like little hiccups here and there.
Right.
But we learned patience is the key, and the minute you start rushing is when you start losing some of that quality.
Right. Now the record drops in July, right? Or I'm sorry, August? Yeah, in August. So what are the plans for that? Any headlining plans? Or do you guys feel ready for a headlining tour?
We're looking to branch out around the West Coast, being from San Diego, Arizona. We got a lot of fans in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. So probably start there and cruise up the coast when we can. We don't have anything announced yet. We do have some planned.
We have some clustery headliner shows, kind of sticking around the West, like he said.
Yeah.
And then we have two big tours with two bands being direct support.
Okay.
And those are going to be great.
Now, why are you guys sticking around the West Coast right now? Is it the audience that you guys are trying to reach out first, or is it just convenience because you guys are working on this record?
Well, we just hit the East Coast with Iration and J-Book, so we did go back and forth. So we're working on building our numbers. I think we might have to wait a little while before we headline the East Coast, but it won't be much longer. Hopefully next year we'll be planning a full nationwide tour.
Right. Now, for those that haven't heard your music and should definitely pick up the record once it drops in August, why should they listen to your band?
I think we're really honest, and everything is about following your passion, and it's really I find our music to be really driving and really inspiring, and I hope that when people listen, they're either unattached and just feeling totally chill, or they're feeling really driven, and maybe there's a decision they need to make, and the music just drives them one step further to do what they need to do in life.